In this video, we're going to be talking about all the big changes that are coming down the pipeline, including what is not going to be included in Act 2 and big things that are going to be happening in Act 2 and 3. So we're going to break it all down, but the GameLeap website right now is your one-stop shop if you want to improve as a player and you're really struggling to climb to any rank, whether it's diamond, whether it's immortal, or maybe you're just trying to get out of iron. It doesn't matter. We have in-depth guides and tips and tricks to help you regardless of your skill set. So do yourself a favor and go check it out right now down below. Now, a lot of this is coming off the heels of the development diaries, which is a sit down with some developers typically, and we got a lot of information about how this next act is going to play out and what's going to happen in the next act after that. Now, the first thing that you need to understand is that there is just flat out not going to be a next agent in the next act, Act 2. In addition, there's also going to be no maps added. It's going to be a complete act without any new map or agent. And I know some of you might be like, what the heck? What are Riot doing? Are they taking a big vacation? Well, absolutely not. In fact, they're using this act to really heavily try to fix what they call the core or the foundation of the game. They're going to be focusing on agent balance, changing up existing maps, promoting good player behavior, and creating a better ranked experience. They have stated that they are going to be balancing agents aggressively and trying to make sure that the game is in a solid place. Promoting good behavior and creating a better ranked experience could be a combination of trying to get rid of AFKers or toxic people and make it so smurfing is less and addressing the smurf problem, and changing maps in a way and altering the maps in a similar way that they recently did, where I, for one, really appreciate both the bind and the breeze changes, and I would love to see more map changes, and that's really what they're going to focus on. That's actually going to be really interesting because I know that some people want constant flow in of content, but I've almost felt like it's been too much. Like, we haven't even adjusted the chamber and boom, Neon comes out. Or we haven't really fully grasped a map perfectly and then boom, another freaking map gets dropped into the mix. And it takes players or the player base a long time to get used to maps. I don't think that many people are even used to Fracture yet. And it does take a very long time. There's always growing pains. And the agents are the same way. And it can be really difficult to balance the current meta when you add a new character and the meta changes. And then you balance that and then maybe something else is broken or something else pops up. And also making agent changes when you're adding new characters to new maps. Think about how Fracture has heavily increased Breach's pick rate. Imagine if right before they released Fracture or at the same patch they released Fracture, they massively buffed Breach because he had no pick rate, and then he gets a huge pick rate boost and then he's completely dominant in Fracture. That's just an example, but really I think that Valorant actually needs to slow down a little bit, and I'm actually really happy about this Act 2. We get to really slow things down and we get to focus on fixing a lot of the major problems in the game, or making it so that the meta is in a place that is stable, a much easier place to work from. And I know some of you are always just hyped about the next new thing, but you keep adding new things on top of new things without fixing anything that already exists in the game, and it can be pretty frustrating. And also, I do think that there are a lot of agents in the game right now that have either gotten power creeped out of the game, a character like Phoenix, or even characters like Omen and Brim, where you could really spice those characters up, give them new life in the new meta, and you basically are making these characters almost like new characters, right? Because they're not really played. So if you spice them up and then they're played, it's almost just as good, if not better, than introducing a new character, because it really makes a lot of people happy simultaneously. You could give Phoenix a new life. You could give Omen Breach, and at the same time, maybe nerf some of the most powerful characters in the game, and give people more options, make a more balanced meta. That's very interesting, and I'm really happy about this, but I really want to hear your opinion about it down below. Are you happy that they're taking this time off, or are you just all about the next content, the next character, and maybe you haven't found the character that you love to main, or you haven't found your perfect character yet, and you want them to keep pumping them out until they do? But the next interesting bit of information that we actually have is that there will be a new agent directly afterwards in Act 3. So they're taking a one-act break to fix all these issues and do agent changes, but then right afterwards, they're going to have a new agent waiting for us. So it's not like we have no agents coming. They are coming down the pipeline. It's just there's like a blackout period, and I'm hoping that they aggressively add all these crazy changes. We know for a fact that Yoru is being changed and is going to be in Act 2, but like I said, Brimstone, Phoenix, Omen are definitely top of the chopping block. As far as characters that I'm interested in seeing nerfed, I would most likely say characters like Jet, characters like Viper and Astra, and a lot of you are not going to agree with this, but Sova has been dominant for a very, very long time, and I'm not saying he shouldn't be dominant or anything like that. I'm just saying if you're going to nerf anything, he might be a character to look at for something minor, like a cost increase or something. Nothing that's going to fundamentally change the character, of course. On top of that, they're going to be revealing more information about the 5v5 mode soon, so we're going to know exactly when that's going to come out before you know it, and the mobile Valorant is still being in development, but it's going to be a while till that releases for like the two of you that are waiting for it. All in all, Act 2 is going to be all about agent balance, so I'm curious in what your personal opinion is. What are the big characters that you think need to be nerfed? What are the big characters that you would like to see buffed? And what is the perfect meta to you? What does the perfect meta look like? Do you want a really powerful, skillful comp as the far and away best composition to play? Or do you want ultimate variety where every single character shares very similar pick rates? I'm very interested in your responses down below. But the GameLeap website is the best way to climb and dominate any meta with in-depth tips and tricks, strategy, and meta guides so that you know exactly how and what you need to play to dominate any meta that the Valorant rank system throws at you. So do yourself a favor, go check it out right now down below.